take on last week once you've looked at it back?
Look, obviously we let ourselves down in some key areas. I thought, even though we started the game slow, we, at 8-8, and we had them on the back foot there in the second half, and again we came up with some things that we could have done a little bit better, and it was disappointing the way we finished the game. That was the disappointing thing for me. We're in the game, in the last 20 minutes we just let it slip, and you can talk about all the guys we had out and whatnot, but when we're in a position to win that game and to lose it comfortably, that was the most disappointing thing for me.
What about positives? Do you take anything from the match?
Oh yeah, look, the positive is we're in a position to win the game. For 20 minutes to go, the guys that came in, Adam Wall, Sam Hewitt, Isaac Farrell, they all held their nerve and played really well for us. So that were the positives. And look, Salford are a pretty good team. They're full strength. They've got some decent players, so they'll win some games this year. Don't worry about that. But we need to worry about what we can fix this week, and we're working hard. And hopefully we can turn things around. What
does Isaac Farrell get out of that experience?
Well, exactly that. A bit of experience, I guess, and a bit of confidence, knowing that he can compete at the top level. I thought he had to make some pretty important tackles early in the game, and he did that. His kicking game was pretty good. He set up a nice try. He kicked a goal from the sideline to make it 8-8. So he did a lot of good things. Faz, there's certainly some areas there we've identified with him this week that he needs to be better, and I'm sure he'll do that.
Is he going to play again this week?
At this stage, he is. Yeah, we've still got players. Not in, not out yet. So at this stage, he will be. Yes.
Who could you have available this week that didn't play last week?
Well, Aaron Murphy will be back. Maybe Gasky, but that's looking more and more like Warrington game. So we're not getting a lot back this week, but come the Warrington game, we'll have the majority of them back.
What about this, Scott Griggs? I mean, he wasn't given a squad number. He wasn't registered prior to the season. Is he now available for selection throughout the season? Has he put his hand on?
Well, he's registered, so he's available. He played last week, and that was his first hit out. Obviously didn't play in any friendlies, so he'll be better for that this week. Our back three certainly need to improve. There's some areas there where we need to be better as far as their combinations, but again, Aku's first real game with us, Grixie's first game. It's a bit of disruption there with training the full year at Darnell at fullback and having to put him back on the wing round one. That's not ideal, but it is what it is. We had to put the best team out possible, and that's what we did.
And what was Grix's reaction when you sort of came to him, or did he come to you?
Oh no, he was ready. He knew that when we needed him, he was going to be ready to go. He's been one of our best trainers all pre-season, so it was no real surprise to him. We sort of knew once Jez got injured that it was probably the way we'd go if we could get Grixie registered, which thankfully Richard was able to do. So we'll just move forward with it.
What about the Dragons? What do you expect from them?
Look, they had a reasonably big loss round 1-2. They're a completely different team at home, so we're obviously expecting a better Catalan Dragons team. I think they only had the one friendly, so they'll be better for that hit out round 1-2. So they'll improve, and they're a big side. They got some good players all across the park. So one thing we need to get right is our defence this week, and make sure we right a few wrongs. From particularly in that second half of the Salford game.
You looked at the Catalan game from last week. The scoreline might suggest that Catalan didn't really offer much, but they had a lot of possession, didn't they?
Yeah. Look, they looked like a team that hadn't played a lot of footy together. Like I said, I think they only had the one friendly against Toulouse, and I think they're a team that'll get better and better every week. They got obviously a new fullback, a new half, so they'll take a little while. I mean, Mika Loram didn't play either, so he may be back in this week. I'm not too sure, but they'll certainly be better for that run. There's no doubt about that.
You went there at the end of last year, didn't you? Logistically, how did you find it all?
Yeah, no, last year was a bit tough. We went down and back. Obviously, we were out of the semi-finals, and we went down and back in the day. I think we left at 5 in the morning and got back to 2 in the morning the next day, so it was a long day. We were up 12-0 at half time in that game too, and we faded away, which was a bit of a trend for us those last 5 weeks. all mentally and physically gone. That last month of the season last year. But we're going a little bit earlier this year. We get 2 or 3 days to hang out and spend a bit of time with each other. So, look, we'll prepare as best we can, and we'll be going over there to win the game. But we need to be a lot better than we were last week.
Yeah, how important is it to get that response, that reaction from last week?
Yeah, well, we just need to make sure we improve on the areas we need to, and if we do that, we'll give ourselves a chance. There's some uncharacteristic errors defensively, from some players last week, which I'm sure is just a one-off, and I'm sure we'll get back to defending, the way we did the majority of the back end of last year this week.
Good luck.
Thank you.
How are Jerry and Leroy coming along? Is there a particular round penciled in for those two, or is it still quite up in the air?
No, Jerry's looking good for our next game.
Oh, wow.
Looking really good. He's obviously got a couple of more weeks of his rehab to get through, but he's been fantastic. Everything, he's ticked every box so far, and he's actually doing better than the physio would have expected at this stage. So he's had a couple of runs this week already, so I'd expect next week he'll build up some high speed, and hopefully the week after he's ready to come into full training and play against Warrington. Leroy's going well now. He's looking at about round 8, I think, so he's going okay. Dale Ferguson got some great news last week. We expected him to be 3 to 4 months, but he'll be back round 5, round 6. So touch wood, we're getting our little bit of adversity through injury away early in the year. It hasn't been ideal. Look, before the Wakey game we were looking really good, and then we've picked up 2 or 3 soft tissue injuries, and for whatever reason our performance department are looking into that and making sure we're dotting the I's and crossing the T's and doing everything we can to avoid those type of injuries. But hopefully when they're all back, Warrington, we can get some cohesion and get some momentum and get our season kick started.
And with all that disruption, is it understandable it's probably going to be a while until we see the best of you guys? But I mean, it's a long season, isn't it? It's plenty of this week.
Well, it is. It's disappointing that we've had to start the season like this, but you're right, it is 30-week competition. It's a long competition, and I've said it before that every team are going to go through patches where they've got a lot of injuries and players for whatever reason not playing. So it's nothing new. I've heard some comments that it's the same old Giants. It's not the same old Giants. The attitude in the place is fantastic, and it's round 1 was round 1. It's gone now. We're just looking forward to improve this week and start to try and build some momentum into the season.
You said that about the comments people are making about the Giants. Do you sense it's a different place from the one you walked into 8-9 months ago?
Oh, I know it is. I don't sense it. I know it is. I know the attitude of the players. I know they come in to get better every day, and they're hungry for success. Like I said, it's not ideal. Round 1, you've got 8 out of your 17 missing. It's not ideal. It's it's no one's fault. It's just one of those. We just had a little bit of bad luck, and from the Wakey game onwards, we just had a couple of blokes, 2 or 3 blokes go down, and obviously with Leroy and Fergie and that already missing, just magnified the situation. So there's no panic stations or kicking stones here. We're getting on with the job, and we know what we're capable of this year, and nothing's changed from that.
It was a tough start from that forward, wasn't it? Suddenly finding yourself with a new half-back partner, but it's going to get better as the season goes on.
Well, I think you'd agree. If you watch the Bradford game and the Wakefield game, Fralls and Gasky looks really good together, and Darnell for that matter as well. But 3 days before our round 1, Darnell has to go to the wing, and Isaac Farrell comes in for Gasky. It's not ideal, but we had to deal with it. We have to deal with it. We dealt with it the best we could. Could we have done better in that last 20 minutes? Certainly, of the Salford game. But it is what it is now, and that's behind us, and we're moving on.